Alan and Denise have saved over $1 million, no mortgage left, just a 2.5% annual withdrawal rate. But suddenly, every conversation they have with friends is making them uneasy about their situation. Should they trust their plan, or is it time to make changes? Find out next. Hey guys, I'm Jet. Taco back with you. Welcome back to Rise in Retirement. Today's case is about pressure. Not from the market, but from friends, colleagues, coworkers, people you're talking to who are making you second guess the financial decisions that you've made.
Yeah.
Alan and Denise have over $1 million saved. They have a plan that appears to be working, but they've had some conversations recently. Some friends have purchased an annuity. Market crashes around them have people talking. There are hidden strategies that they're hearing about that are making them start to second guess things. Something that we see pretty regularly.
Yeah, the media, it's not just coworkers and friends and family. We see the media start to thrive off of some of this stuff too, to create fear, a little bit, to make knee-jerk reactions at the end of the day. So, good case here to talk about, Alan and Denise.
And before we get into the case details, which I want you to go over with everyone, listen, I know that over 90% of you watching right now are not subscribed to the channel. So before we go any further, hit that subscribe button so that you see all of our future videos in real time. So break it down for us.
Yeah. Alan, 68. Denise, 66. They've got just under 1.1 million saved, Jet. 750,000 in IRAs, pre-tax dollars, 200 in brokerage accounts, 100,000 in Roth IRA, tax free, and they got about 30 grand just in bank savings. Mortgage is totally paid off. They own their home, free and clear of debt, like you mentioned earlier. Income looks really good. They need $6,000 a month. They've got 3,800 coming in that they are already collecting from Social Security. Okay. So you mentioned 2.5% withdrawal rate. They have about $2,200 a month. So in really, really good shape from that standpoint. We talk about income foundation being key a lot. They're in good shape, right? Current allocation is 60% of their portfolios in stocks, equities in some fashion. And then 40% is in fixed income or cash equivalents. So kind of that traditional 60-40 blend that we hear a lot about at the end of the day. So
let's jump right into the planning challenges. We mentioned earlier that they're starting to worry. And before these conversations started to happen, they were actually feeling pretty good about things.
Yeah.
They're looking at that withdrawal rate, 2.5%, everything that they read, everything that they hear. That's a really good spot to be in, right? No debts. They're living life very happily with that $6,000 a month. Most of that's coming from Social Security, so the withdrawal isn't that much from the portfolio to get them where they need to be.
Yep.
But they fear that they should have done something different, and it's all stemming from conversations that they've had, not with their financial advisor, planner, broker, professional, but with people that they know and like and trust.
Yeah. And we see this a ton, and it's not, usually we don't have to react too much to it because clients that we're working with have a formal plan and they understand it. But there are many times that I'll start getting questions, Jet, from a client, and I'm going, where are you coming from with this stuff? You find out that, well, my friends that we sat down and we had dinner with, they were raving about, something. And so in this case with Alan and Denise, what it was an annuity.
Yeah.
And, it had Alan and Denise going, well, our advisor hasn't talked to us about this particular thing that had a giant bonus on it and uncapped earning potential, and you can never lose money. And
yeah, sounds too good to be true.
Alan and Denise are going, well, gosh, why shouldn't we put our money in that? And so it gets them second guessing themselves, going, maybe we're not in the right, investments. Maybe we have the wrong things. Even though we know we have enough money right now, we're just concerned about maybe we're not in the right spot.
Let me flip the script on you. Let's turn it in reverse.
Yeah.
Imagine you purchased an annuity. Your advisor recommended one as part of your plan, or you were sold an annuity and you felt pretty good about it. And then you're having a conversation with a friend, someone that, hey, I wouldn't touch an annuity with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
You really should reconsider that? Do you know all the strings that are attached to, so the same thing can happen on the reverse side.
Agreed.
And I think there are probably, it's not just with annuities.
Correct.
Cryptocurrency is all the rage right now. So, Bitcoin is a big one that we see this happen with. We see it happen a lot with commodities, gold sometimes, depending on the scenario.
Yep.
So it can be a number of different things that cause this to happen.
Yeah. Well, and it's another one is the whole market timing side of things, and this can be done through colleagues and friends where they're going, well, we pulled out, we sold everything because we're really worried about there's going to be a big market crash and the economy's tanking, and during the presidential election, it's I got to get out before this happens. And so it gets in your head and you're going, well, gosh, they made a good point, or what sounds like a good point. And so maybe we should follow the herd.
Yeah.
And this could be from media. Like I mentioned at the front of this, is it's not sometimes just colleagues or friends or coworkers. It's the media takes advantage of it too. Markets are doing really well, or there's some sort of event coming up or geopolitical type of things going on. Hey, it's time to really start scaring some people into going to cash and buying gold or buying annuities or whatever it may be. And so we see this a ton where people find themselves second guessing their entire financial plan because of all the noise that's out there.
There's one more thing I want to add to this before we get there. If you find yourself in this position, if you're second guessing something that you've done, whether you were confident in it before that happened or you were never really that confident in it, what my suggestion, Taco and I would tell you to go to riseandretirement.com. So head over to riseandretirement.com. You can request a 30-minute complimentary phone consultation with an advisor here at our firm, W.A. Smith Financial Group. And there's a lot of things that we can help you with that will get you through to understand your position a lot more clearly so that you can make an informed decision. We can do a cost analysis. We can do a risk analysis. We talk every week here on Rise and Retirement about red light, yellow light, green light. We can give you an assessment of your current position in that red, yellow, green format. And on that note, if you go to riseandretirement.com right now, coming up here very soon, we're doing a webinar. You can sign up for the webinar. The webinar's topic is Retirement Planning Secrets of the High Net Worth. We have a lot to go over in that webinar, and I'm really excited to share that with people.
Yeah, for sure. And I think just adding on here one more thing before we jump into some more of this is, again, if you feel like Alan and Denise, where maybe the numbers just really match up and you feel really good about that with your plan, I know people are uneasy. So if you lack any sort of clarity or confidence in your plan, take advantage of a 30-minute call or then some of the resources available. So
there's one more thing I want to touch on here before we give a red, yellow, green assessment for Alan and Denise.
Sure.
You talked about too much noise. We often refer to it as don't drink the dirty water.
Yeah.
The media can really shift your thinking in the wrong direction in some instances. The last thing I want to mention that I want you to talk about this a little bit is sometimes all of this happens because you just buy products, you just buy investments, you just position your money into all these different things, and there's really no structured plan. There's no formal income plan, no structure to how you ended up in these things. And if you have a plan, I think sometimes it can help you avoid all this noise.
Correct. I mean, I think it's purpose-based investing. We talk about it all the time, but that's what happened to Alan and Denise is the numbers are all good and they know it. 2.5% withdrawal rate, all this stuff looks good. But at the end of the day, they don't know where exactly their income is coming from in the next 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, over the longevity of their plan. They don't know where it's coming from. They just
ad hoc withdrawals.
They just know we have enough money.
Yeah.
That's where the doubt can then creep in because it's going, well, I think we're good. We have over $1 million and everything feels good, but are our friends right? Should we be doing this? Should we be doing that? Because we don't have any purpose. So, I think this leads us into what can they do? What can Alan and Denise, what can you do if you lack clarity or you lack some sort of confidence because the outside noise? What can you do?
Possible strategies. So the first one I want to mention is and we're going to simplify this. It could be a little different, but just to make it super simple today, we call it a 3-bucket plan, or segregating your assets into purpose-based allocation or categories. So one thing that I think could help Alan and Denise here is they're starting to worry too much about, do I have my money in the right vehicle, and not enough about, is it positioned with purpose? Do I know exactly why I have this amount of money in this vehicle versus this amount of money in this vehicle? So if they have a formal written plan that says, hey, here's your 3 buckets, here's what each one is supposed to accomplish, and here's why we chose this specific investment or allocation for this bucket and that one and that one, I think that could help them clear things up.
Yeah, I think the key and what we do for many individuals, something we can discuss on a 30-minute call, or you come in for a retirement tune-up, is really beginning to develop a 1-page plan, is what we call it. It's simple. Simplicity is key here, right? And those 40-page reports that are just filled with fluff don't actually tell you anything. They don't tell you anything other than Monte Carlos and probabilities of success and all these different things. So our 1-page plan comes with a simple set of income planning instructions that says, hey, Alan and Denise, your income's going to come beginning in, January 1st, 2026 from this account for this long. Here's how much taxes are going to be withheld from it. Here's when we transition to bucket 2, as you mentioned, the 3 buckets. And it's just a really simple set of instructions that if you're a married couple, for example, both spouses can understand. Yep. When you're sitting down with dinner with your friends, you go, hey, look, we got a written formal plan. We know exactly where all of our stuff's coming from. And you don't let the noise come in at that point.
If you really think about it, to piggyback off of that, we mentioned earlier it was a 60-40 allocation. 60% roughly was in equities, 40% in a mixture of fixed income and cash equivalents. And they feel good because you're taught that 2.5% is a really good withdrawal rate, and it is.
Yeah.
But what can really kind of crash this for them is a bad market sequence. And a 60-40 still, depending on how it's allocated, 60-40 isn't just a uniform thing across the board. You can have really good returns or really bad returns and a range of variance on a 60-40 in general.
Correct.
But if they lose a bunch of money and that withdrawal rate starts to creep up, they can start making some bad decisions mentally, emotionally, just because they don't have a systematic plan that says, hey, we're taking money from this account. Even though these accounts might be losing money, they're not designated for income right now. So those accounts have more time. Yep. Therefore, you have more discipline to let those ride the market wave, so to speak, if that were to occur to you.
Yeah, spot on. So, I have Alan and Denise as a green light.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? At the end of the day, they're in really good shape. The numbers, we keep saying, the numbers are there. The numbers are good. The only way that green light starts to turn yellow for them is if they let the noise get in and they start making, irrational decisions because of what colleagues or friends are doing, that follow the herd mentality is usually not good when it comes to your financial situation. And if they don't start to formalize something, they got to put together some sort of formalized plan. Their allocation of 60-40, like you said, could be just fine, but it still is missing some purpose of exactly why you have the investments you have, where the income's coming from, and put the noise aside, and they'll be in really good shape.
Yeah. So the next time you're on the golf course talking to your buddies, or you're at dinner with friends that you haven't seen in a while, or you're watching the news, be careful. If you're in a good financial position, try to tune it out. Don't make these common mistakes that everybody can become victim to, and you're probably going to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah. At the end of the day, confusion kills confidence. If you have a plan, or you don't have a plan at all, get it tested, get something in place. If you're confused now, you're going to miss something in the future. So
head over to riseandretirement.com, check it out, get a 30-minute phone call. We'll see you next week.